Hey there, Magic Maker. It's Deb D here for your Sunday Surrender. And what is Sunday? We're right on the edge of dark moon to new moon. Yep, tomorrow we have our new moon in Gemini, which means you get to start again, Magic Maker. New moon says, let's just reset, shall we? And as we know, each new moon is that moment to pause and reflect and then plant those seeds of intention. And each new moon has, some astro planet influences. So let's dive in. This new moon coming up is in the sign of Gemini. So our sun and our moon are in Gemini, which means what? Gemini is an air sign, Gemini is a mutable sign, and Gemini is the twins. What's all that, Deb D? So, we're up in the mind. There's a lot of airy mental energy going on, and mutable is open to change, some flexibility. Mind, lots going on, flexibility, potential change, a little bit of chameleon. Twins, mind, our communication. Twins, we're looking at our communication with others, with ourselves, with the part of ourselves that we like, the part of ourselves that we're a bit cranky at, with somebody close in our world, with maybe somebody who you haven't spoken to in a while. So think now, Magic Maker, tuning into your communication. Is it changing? Is there a lot going on up in the mental headspace? And just for fun, the universe has thrown in for this Gemini new moon the end of our Mercury Retrograde. Yep. Mercury really likes hanging out with Gemini. They're best buddies because they're both aligned with this mental energy and communication. And a retrograde is, let's think about that communication. Maybe there's some redo or review necessary, says Mercury. And then dancing in is Gemini in a new moon, saying, I want to be all up in my head. I want to come up with a whole heap of ideas. I want to be talking and thinking and sharing with others. And it's time to reflect on ideas and communication. So there's a lot of energy happening up here. And humans love to hang out in the mental energy. The trick is, and I'm really good at pulling off this trick, the tricky part is we can get into overthinking. Yeah, or paying too much attention to the thoughts that are not actually serving us that well. Guilty also. But you can catch yourself. You can give yourself a circuit breaker and you can change. So this is what this new moon is giving us a chance to do. Would you like to change your mind about something, Magic Maker? Would you like to change the tone or quality in your communications with another? Maybe yourself? Now, the moon says, tomorrow I'm going to go new, which means you can be new. You can make a decision to set in place the vibration of this new moon energy. Plant the seeds of intention around your communication, what's changing with you, and also who do you want to be in relationship to? Who do you need to be in relationship to? What conversations do you maybe need to redo? Whatever you've been thinking a lot about, that is what this new moon is about for you. Again, Magic Maker, what have you been thinking a lot about? Particularly with this Mercury retrograde, particularly in this, post-eclipse, everything's still kind of settling post-eclipse, because, you know, the reverberations of eclipse go on for months. So we're still in settling. We're only a couple of weeks away from when the eclipse window is shut. What have you been thinking about recently, or even, you know, in the last couple of weeks while Mercury has been in retrograde? Thinking, thinking, thinking. And as we know, magic makers, true magic is being mindful of our thoughts. Your thoughts create your reality, true. And also remembering you're an earthbound human. You got a body, you're grounded. We're earthbound right now, which is why I've got the Gaia Oracle for us today. For the Gaia Oracle is going to give us a little bit of that grounding to balance out all of this mental energy. So let's shuffle the Gaia cards. And this is going to be a reading for the new moon. And let's see, we might want some clarifiers. We might want to look beyond the full moon, the new moon. Let's see. But let's just ask first for the Gaia to give us an indication of what is in the highest good of us as magic makers to know as we move into this new moon in Gemini with Mercury in retrograde. I mean, there's other stuff going on here with Mercury, with Pluto, with Saturn. Like, there's a lot happening in the sky, but when is there not a lot happening in the sky? I think sometimes it's useful to focus in on what is the top note. And the top note energetically at the moment is there's a lot going on in the mental body. There's a lot of thinking, which means there could be new inspiration, new ideas, or we could be rehashing and overthinking something in our world that we actually really want to change in. And then the new moon turns up and says, hey, would you like something new? Would you like to break it up and go in a new vibe? Set about a new pattern. You can set an intention with the new moon for what do you wish, want and desire to be new in your world. Okay, so we've been shuffling for a while. Let's stay connected to breath. Let's stay grounded. We're open, we're allowing, and we're asking the Gaia Oracle what is in the highest good for the magic makers to know as we open up to the possibilities and the magic available to us this new moon in Gemini. Let's see what's revealed. This one. Aha, interesting. Purification, fire. Very interesting. This, I think, has a lot to do with the Mars energy at the moment. Mars is really active. There's some fire happening. So we're up in this mental energy, which is air. And then we have this fire energy that's also at play and very active in the sky right now. So when we get fire purification, allow the fire to burn away what you no longer want to keep in terms of like an old thought, an old pattern, an old belief. And more than that, allow fire to burn away all that kind of sits on the top layer for, you know, that easy to access surface, so you can get to the naked truth. What's the truth here? Why do you keep repeating that pattern? Why are you still thinking that thought? Why are you rehashing that conversation from a while ago? Why? When we work with fire, we can actually take away the layer that has been protecting us or been built over time when we build up a pattern. You can literally work with fire. You could be writing out what you want to let go of, what's not serving you, the conversations you cannot have again, the thought patterns that you're like, I'm over myself now, I really want to be moving in a new groove. You can write all of that out and burn it. And then sit and breathe. What's coming up now? Whoa. So the fire is purification. So also, how can we purify our thoughts and our communications? How can we move towards purification? This is also very much indicated in this dark moon energy, because dark moon, like just before the new moon, is the time when we're sitting in the dark. And when we sit in the dark, what the moon says, advises, come along with me, sit in the dark, and in the depths of the dark, seek your truth and release what you no longer need. You can also, Magic Maker, if you wish to, like if you don't want to write it out and burn the letter, if that's not your jam, another way that you can do it is you can actually like be sitting and breathing and like being truthful with yourself around what's up in my head that I just like, I'm over it. I'm over hearing myself say that again and again, or that is so last year, whatever it is, or anything that you kind of go, that's kind of like a little mental poison that I keep feeding myself. What you can do is you can also use fire in a different way. It's called the violet flame. And how the violet flame works is this: it's a violet flame, but it's this beautiful, magical, purifying violet flame that when you step into it or invite it into your auric field, it will burn away the debris, burn away what's ever in your energetic or physical body that you don't need. So you can also call upon the violet flame. That's another way that you can do it. Saint Germain and the violet flame, that's also a way to work with the purification. So Gaia says, let's add some fire. There's a lot of air going on. There's a lot of mental energy. And the fire says, purify, burn away, reveal the truth. So then what do we do? What's beyond the fire? What's beyond the fire? That's what I'm curious about. What are you curious about, Magic Maker? I'm going to ask right now for us all, what is beyond the fire? What is beyond the fire? This one. Oh, thinking of you. Look, here's another thinking. A different thinking. Yes, this is beyond the fire. Oh, this is so nice. So when we get the thinking of you card, it's a different type of thinking. And it can be present in our world in a couple of different ways. Thinking of you can be reminding yourself that anyone in your world who is now no longer earthbound and on the other side, they're there for you. You can call upon them, as well as your angels and archangels and guides and your soul family, any entity in the light. There's a message here thinking of you. So if there's somebody who you have been thinking of, like in your life, maybe past, or you're just kind of wanting maybe a conversation with somebody who is not earthbound, you can actually just sit and like tune in to their energy, whether it's a person that you knew earthbound who is no longer here, or whether it is like an entity like an angel or an archangel or a guide, your soul family that you have also been able to create communication with. So we're opening up communication beyond earthbound. That's beyond the fire. Once we get like past like the layer of like, this is the top note, and into the truth, we can also then have a conversation, a communication from that place of truth with our beautiful, beautiful tribe. They're all there. They would like to have a conversation with you this new moon, tuning into who can I have I'm earthbound, they're not, doesn't mean we can't communicate. Who can you reach out to? And not necessarily, you're not reaching out to them to say, I need you to solve a problem for me. You're reaching out to say, can I have some support? Could I have some guidance? Can you just be with me while I think this through? Because they're thinking of you. They're thinking of you and they want to support you. Now, also magic makers, there's another twist on this card too. Thinking of you, if you are one of those magic makers who your communication is about you and another, you and an ex, or you and someone new that you might want to get closer to, you and someone in your family that the communication's gone a little bit awry. If you're thinking about them, they're thinking about you. If you are thinking about them, they are thinking about you. So, purification. Can you purify your thoughts in relationship to others? And then watch how that comes back at you. If you keep thinking in your thoughts, well, what do you think is going to come back in that relationship? You can just purify your thoughts and then watch how those channels of communication also open up and purify. And you're doing it for the greater good. Let go of right and wrong. Choose purification. Purify your thoughts and then open up your thoughts beyond earthbound into all that is possible for your communications. Are you open and available to the conversation that need to be had, whether it's with somebody earthbound or somebody on the other side? Are you open to being mutable like Gemini and changing your mind? Let's get one last card for our new moon reading. Gaia Oracle, what else is in the highest good of the magic makers to know? We know that there's a lot of mental energy. We know that purification with fire is highly recommended. And we know that we have a tribe, earthbound and beyond, who are thinking of us. So whoever you're thinking about, they're thinking about you too. And what else is in the highest good of all magic makers to know now as we move into this new moon energy? What is in the highest good for us to know? Let's see what's revealed, and it's this one. Wow. We get the moonlight. Yes, we do. Follow the moon. So this moonlight card is travel, romance, and potential. So this is also about change. So in the time of the moonlight, if we actually do go into this sense of like following the moon, right? At the time of the new moon, it is saying, do you want to try again? Do you want to start again? If there was somewhere that you wanted to go, can we look at another plan and maybe you get to go? Can you change your mind about a certain plan? Very Mercury Retrograde. Is there someone in your life who you can also change the way you've been approaching or communicating with them? Oh, itchy nose. Always get this when Spirit's strong. So by the moonlight, so we're not at full moon in terms of that full moonlight feeling of like out. We're at new moon moonlight, which is like, what about if we just pause for a minute and really like purify and reach out in a new way with our communications? And remember, your communications is more than your words. You can communicate in a hug. You could communicate by sending blessings and positive thoughts to somebody, yourself. But it's indicated here, travel, romance, and potential. So this is the other thing about new moon, is you get to plant some seeds. And the travel doesn't necessarily need to be, I'm getting on a plane and going somewhere beautiful, like say Tobago. Travel could be, where do you want to like venture to in your life? Is there like literally a new territory you could go to? Romance is romance, which always comes back to, it's as much about you as the other. If you are craving romance, can you create that? And potential. All new moons are about potential. There is potential. If you believe in your new moon intention, then there's the potential available inside that intention. And trust me, when the universe starts to play, that potential is just going to expand. Particularly in 2022, because Jupiter's saying, I'm here as the spotlight, highlight planet of the year. And Jupiter likes to expand everything. The goddess of fortune. That's what Jupiter's known as. That's 2022. So it's the time now to think, and then feel, what's the highest potential for me? What's the highest potential within this relationship? What's the highest potential in where I could go? And dream from there. Set your intentions from there. Purify, connect, and then dream of your potential. How nice. I'm going to go and do some purification right now. I'm going to head down to the ocean for the second time today and dive on in because, I'm doing a bit of dark moon myself today. There's some release. There's some letting go because I intend to turn up to my full potential at new moon tomorrow and plant some new seeds for me and for us all. So magic makers, as always, Big Life Magic has a new moon circle of magic. It happens every new moon and it is happening tomorrow night, the 30th of May. If you wish to come, you want to be checking the links below. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is our new moon circle of magic. All welcome. And you are welcome to go on out and enjoy yourself with some fire, some play, with all those who are thinking of you, and start to dream in what's the highest potential for me, because I could plant my seeds, my new moon seeds, right there. Okay, Magic Makers, always a delight to connect with you. Wishing you an amazing new moon, and breathe it in, my friends, breathe it in and know it to be true that you, my friend, are the magic. Big love.